And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today I'm going to show you one of the simplest and yet greatest abstract games ever made, Batik. Batik is such a cool game that you can find it in math catalogs. When I used to teach math, I looked through them and I would see Batik. This is a game that I can teach you in about 10 seconds and we can play in about 1 minute. A simple yet visually appealing game. Let's take a look. Gameplay for Batik is very, very simple. You have this glass frame. Ooh, look. Glass, no glass. Okay, anyway. And it's open on both ends, and so you'll place it on the table. Each player is going to take these pieces of one set. So you have the light color versus the dark color. Different geometric pieces. Looks like a tangram almost. And then their game will begin. So on a player's turn, they'll simply take a piece, and they can drop it in here basically any way they want to. So when they drop it in, they can flip it, they can maneuver it around. It's not a big deal. You can't force it, you have to drop it in. And you can't move the board and try to mess the pieces that are already in there. So you're simply going to take turns and drop these pieces in. So at the beginning, okay, no big deal as players drop them. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to force it so that your opponent doesn't have a place to play his remaining pieces. See, now the tan player is in trouble because this piece doesn't look like it will fit. Neither does this piece, but the small triangle should fit. Hooray! What are you going to do now, dark player? Dark player thinks, yes! Managed to get his triangle in. Oh, this isn't good for the light tan player. And nope, you can see here that this one is sticking up over the edge, so the light tan player loses this game. And so the rules don't really say, but we always had a rule that we would just run a piece along the top here, and if it moved your piece, then you were out of the game. And so that's how you play. You can play a match and play multiple games of this, but essentially you're trying to drop your pieces in to force the other person's piece to stick out over the edge. I almost have no commentary here because if you just watch that, you know instantly whether you'll like this or not. I have played many games with my math classes over the years, and I've never seen one as popular as this. Granted, it's because anybody could play it. And you could say, well, there's such obvious things. I'll stick the big pieces and then the small pieces. And yeah, I guess that is a little obvious there. And I wouldn't have minded if they made Batik Super with maybe tons of different pieces and you try to figure out which ones go in, but it's quick, fast, and it's done. And I've seen a lot of games where a piece jets out just a tiny bit over the top and where someone puts a piece in a different way, or a piece when it falls in pushes another piece and allows their opponent to slide that other piece in. It's simplicity at its best. This is a game that you can leave set up on your coffee table and it looks good. Of course, you can say that about most of the gigantic games. It is a superb game. Kids get a lot of kick and everyone watches. It's a game that you can play 80 times in an hour probably. Maybe not that many times, but just back and forth, back and forth. So it's great to teach kids about shapes. I guess I'm saying a lot of good things about this, but I've really had such great success with it. Anyhow, that's Batik.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door.
There.